Mononofu Radio.
Welcome to Mononofu Radio. I'm your host Angela. Our weekly twitcast will focus on various topics related to current sensational idol group Momoiro Clover Z. Every week we'll have different guests from different parts of the world. Our talk show will be English, but we will occasionally incorporate some Japanese. Feel free to leave comments in Japanese and we'll do our best to respond. Alright. First guest for our show is Andrew, a goony white kid from Ohio who had strong love for 80's J-pop, and now Sakura from Syachihoko. First question, how did you get into J-pop?
Let me think. So, it's funny, if you look at the image thing I put on the collabo thing, this was maybe like 6 years ago. I collect old 80's computer called the MSX. It's from Japan. And I was watching on YouTube a bunch of commercials for it that were from Japan, and one of them had Yukiko Okada in it, and the picture's actually a screen grab from the commercial. And so I'm watching the commercial, and I'm like, who's this? So of course I Google her, and I'm like, oh, she's a musician. So then I listen to her, and I'm like, holy crap, this stuff's friggin' awesome. Where's this been my whole life? So I just kind of clicked around on YouTube, and then, you watch one video, then you get related videos, and then before you know it, I'm like drowning in the stuff. So it all kind of happened because of a computer that's like 30 years old. Yeah, if you look at my little picture too on the Twitter thingy here, I'm holding the computer like on top of my head. That's the computer that she was advertising in the commercial. And then my t-shirt has a picture of her from the commercial on it. So it's like a triple whammy of the friggin' commercial. Yeah.
What was the thing that attracted you from the beginning?
Well, it was just a funny commercial because since I don't understand Japanese super good, especially at the time, I'm like, what's going on in this? And it's playing one of her songs in the background, and she's basically just talking about the computer. And it was just a neat commercial because it's got that cheesy 80's flair to it, because it's from the 80's. like the funny video effects and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought it was a neat video. Like a lot of the other commercials were really cheesy, and this one was at least kind of interesting. Lots of pink and colorful stuff going on.
But are you familiar with Japanese culture in the very first place before you saw this funny little commercial?
Yeah, like I've paid attention to Japanese stuff since I was a little kid. Like in kindergarten we watched they made us watch Big Bird Big Bird Goes to Japan. He gets lost in Japan because he's stupid. But that was like one of the big things that I saw as a kid that introduced me to Japanese culture. And it was extra funny for us because I live in Ohio. So while Big Bird's walking around in Tokyo, people keep saying Ohio to him, like to say good morning, and he's like, oh wow, all these people are from Ohio. So it was extra funny for us as kids because we live in Ohio. But yeah, I mean, I've paid attention to the Japanese culture and stuff since I was a little kid.
I've never knew Sesame Street did a little segment in Japan.
Oh yeah, it was like a whole movie, and it's cool too because there's the old, the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter with Princess Kaguya. They tie that into the Big Bird thing. He meets her, and there's like a whole spin-off of like the folk tale in the Sesame Street movie. So it's like you get all kinds of stuff out of that movie. It's pretty funny.
So that's the very first time learning about this is Japan. This is what Japan looks like and what Japanese looks like.
Yeah, and it's funny because they're stupid. Big Bird he's not very bright. He's always dopey. They go to a restaurant and he's pointing at food that he wants, and it's the display food, so it's not real. And he doesn't speak Japanese, and they don't speak English. He just keeps pointing, saying he wants to eat it, and then they get sat down, and the waiter goes to get the real versions of the food, and they sit there. And Big Bird tries to eat the pretend food, and he's like, "Oh, this is plastic. Oh, we're dumb." And then the real food shows up, but it was it's just funny because they're totally confused. That's gonna be me in Japan. I'm gonna be totally confused.
Right, you're gonna walk around trying to eat plastic samples.
No, well, I'm not that dumb, but I'm probably gonna like, it's gonna be like culture shock. I'll probably like get a nosebleed or pass out or something. It'll be worth it.
So what kind of food did they show? Like sushi and stuff?
I can't remember. His little dog eats like a whole piece of fish. I think like it's like like a fish that's still looks like a fish. It's not like here where it's like a deep fried cut piece of fish. It still has a tail. But then the food kind of goes away, and then the Big Bird movie does a bunch of other crap, like he gets lost basically. He misses the tour bus because he's putzing around. So that's what happens. He misses the tour bus, and then he goes on like an adventure through Japan, and he's panicking because like he goes to go into a house, and the girl tells him, "Oh, you have to take your shoes off when you go in a house," and he's like, "But I don't wear shoes. What do I do?" And it's like he's panicking because he doesn't have shoes to take off. And
Right.
it's
Okay.
like, yeah, it's like it doesn't matter. You're already not wearing shoes. You're good to go. But like he's panicking because he doesn't have shoes. Because like when we were kids, we were like, "Oh wow, they take their shoes off before they go in the house." Why? Because like here we just stomp through the house in our shoes because we're American and that's what we do.
You know what's funny? Actually, a lot of Japanese people ask me whether you guys take the shoes to bed and stuff. Because I live in California. I have an Asian family. We don't wear shoes in the house. I don't know. What about you? Do you wear your shoes to sleep?
No, I really don't. I actually don't like wearing shoes. They're uncomfortable because I don't like like me particularly. I don't like I can't feel things with my toes because the shoes on. So I'm like, oh, this is stupid. Like I'll walk around in socks because of my toes. I can feel where I'm going. But yeah, I only wear shoes if I have to. Like there was a time I actually went all the way to work, and when I got to work, I realized I had no shoes on. I was in my socks. I drove all the way to work in my socks. So I got to work with my shoes on.
How the hell do you not know that you don't have shoes on?
I just wasn't paying attention. I was in my socks. I got all my stuff. I went and got in the car, drove all the way there, and went, oh, shoes. Yeah, whatever. I went the whole day with no shoes. It's okay. But
Oh, okay.
I mean, we take our shoes off here though, like like at the front door usually, so you don't like track dirt and mud through the house. But like sometimes you'll forget and walk around with your shoes on or something like that, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Some people they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. The carpet's a mess already. Go ahead and track more dirt on it.
But so, anyways, I wanted to. The shoes thing kind of distracted me, but I wanted to ask you, like, I don't know if most folks here they know who Yukiko Okada is. Can you do like a little brief intro? Like, who is she? I'm not very familiar with Showa Idols or idols in the 80s.
Of course,
Why do you like her? Yeah, well, not her whole history, but.
Well, that's the sad part. She doesn't really have a very long history because she died like 2 years after she got famous.
Right.
She started off. She won like the Star Tanjo like competition thing. She won. So that's the cool part. It's like, oh, this girl, it's like kind of like American Idol, I guess. So like teenager, she wins this thing. She becomes really popular. Like her first album, Cinderella, is really good. Like there's not a bad song on the album, but and it was the usual Idol thing. Magazines, all the goofy pictures, some of the weird bikini ones, like stuff like that. But and she appeared on TV shows, game shows, all sorts of stuff like that, and was like really popular. And then bad things happened, and she died.
Yeah. Well, do you have some idea why she killed herself?
No. I mean, I don't really know. No one knows. She didn't leave a note or anything. They found her, I think, in her apartment with her wrist cut. So they took her back to the studio.
Really?
She jumped off the building. So
she
I think if I'm
cut herself and then jump off the. She cut herself and then jump off the building.
Yeah, like her producer found her in her apartment, and so they took her back to the studio to see what was like going on. And I'd like to meet the person that left her unattended and allowed for her to jump off a building so I can smack them. It's kind of dumb on their part, but yeah, they don't really know what happened. And I guess too, a reporter was coming to interview her about what had just happened. And while he was going to the building to interview her, that's like she landed on the ground practically in front of the guy, and he took pictures. So there's actually pictures of her on the ground after she jumped. So that kind of sucks. Like you gotta be careful when you Google pictures of her because you might be scrolling. Oh, look at all these cute pictures, and it's like, oh crap, keep scrolling. I don't want that one. Like
You
it's
know,
bad.
the first time you talked about her with me, I actually Googled her, and there was a very gruesome picture of her, her head smashed on the floor, black and
Yeah,
white. I'm like, is that the same person?
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think the
that's
picture,
her.
it was from the newspaper, right? Like a reporter took it. People weren't very
Yeah,
sensitive with photos back then.
well, I mean, he was coming to interview her, and I mean, she probably landed right in front of him, and he went, well, time to take a picture of that, I guess. Uh, yeah, it sucks. I mean,
But
yeah, I
like
don't
what?
know. Such a sad topic to
Well,
bring up, really. Like,
a little bit. Yeah, let's change. Let's shift the direction a
but I
bit.
mean,
What is it? What I mean, what do you like about her though? Like,
well, like,
how would you compare her to like MCZ, like Momoiro Clover? Like, are
well,
they kind of different? Are they kind of
oh yeah,
same?
totally. Because all the old like the Showa stuff, they come out in the poofy dresses, and the dancing is super corny. It's like strange choreography that I don't know who came up with it, but some of it's so dorky. But the singing and the music itself is different because it fits the style from back then.
Uh huh.
And like her in particular, I like because she's got like a very interesting voice. It doesn't, she's not like Seiko Matsuda. She's like, oh, the best one ever. She's got like this really powerful voice, but Yukiko doesn't have like that kind of voice. But I kind
Uh
of
huh.
prefer it because it's like, it comes off more like is exactly like she was, which was like a teenage girl that got famous from singing. She won a
Right.
competition and became like everyone's favorite out of nowhere. And like when she sings, like her singing isn't that super powerful, punchy, like over the top Mariah Carey vocal stuff. It's just like it's like it's hard to describe really. You just have to listen because like sometimes when she's singing, there's like she's got like kind of like gaspy noises when she's singing, where like it's almost like she's out of breath and like little like squeaky things while she's singing. I can't. You'd have to just hear it, and if I like ever show a song, I could point and go, "This is what I'm talking about." And it's just nice because it's like she's not trying too hard. She's just doing what she does because she likes it and she's good at it.
So
Yeah,
back then, I know the
yeah,
Showa time idols are their singing voice is more about the power, the techniques,
yeah. Well,
the
it's funny too because like
but for her, she's
my
I
what
don't
were
know.
you gonna say?
Yukiko Okada's voice is kind of light, right? Kind of like soft.
Yeah, it's like it's like the kind of voice you'd picture like someone singing while they're like doing gardening or like planting flowers and stuff. It's not like she's gonna come out and sing and like blow everyone's minds. So she comes out and she sings her songs and they're like it was kind of like Momoiro Clover. They're like the idols you can meet. They're like down to earth. Like her voice is kind of down to earth. It's not like like
Hmm.
some like big scary voice where it's like she's like intimidating because she sings so good. It's just like here's this girl, she sings. It's like almost cute. You're like, yay, she sings. Like, ha. You're like, it's not intimidating and like stuff like that. I guess. Yeah,
Well,
it's
how
hard
would
to
you
describe.
compare?
It's like,
Cause right, cause I think you are more into Showa idols, right? Idols in the 80's. What attracted you to Momoiro Clover?
well, I listened to them first actually. Like I've listened to them for a while. Um, I Momiro Clover's just it's idiotic. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, the it's like every song is different. Everything jumps all over the place. They're completely spastic, and you got Randy like completely freaking out. Like the half the time she's dancing, it's almost like she's convulsing. I'm like, who's that? I like that one.
What was the
Like
first video you watched?
I what's the thing? I clicked on it one day on YouTube and did my it's like choose your own adventure. I don't know if you ever did those books as a kid where like it's like if you want this, turn to page 12, and then stuff
Mm.
happens. You
Yeah.
click a YouTube video and then you start clicking all the related videos. I think I had like I listened to their entire discography in one day basically. So I
Mhm.
played all of it at once. Uh, One of the first videos I remember. Shit, I can't even remember which ones, but which I don't remember which video it is, but at the end of it, they slam. I think it's Randy. They slam a cake in her face. I can't remember the name of the song. It's like their first song where they're like, it's got the little taiko drums in the background. I can't remember the name of it. I never remember the name of the song. But and they're all real young and they got
with the cake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There we go. Mirai is Susume.
Mononofu Radio.